Hello, my good friends. How are you today? May God bless you all. Ever wonder what you'd do if your dream wedding turned into a nightmare? Layla is about to say, "I do," when she hears her fiancé snicker. She's just my promotion pawn. Her family is a joke. Will she walk away or fight? Buckle up. This wedding is falling apart, and you won't believe what happens next. Subscribe to the video and comment where you're watching it. Here we go. The air inside First Baptist Church in Atlanta was thick with the scent of lilies and the buzz of 200 guests, all decked out in their Sunday best. Layla Jackson stood at the front, her white satin wedding gown shimmering under the stained glass light, but her hands trembled as she gripped the microphone. Her dark curls spilled out from under her veil, framing a face that was supposed to glow with joy. Instead, her brown eyes burned with a mix of hurt and fury. She wasn't here to say, "I do." She was here to say, "Hell no." Just 30 minutes ago, she'd overheard the man she was about to marry, Ethan Carter, talking trash behind a carved wooden door in the church's back hallway. His voice had cut through the muffled hum like a knife. "She's too dark to look right in that dress," he'd sneered to his best man, Jake. "But Hazel eat it up. Me marrying someone diverse. Gotta play the part, right? Her family's a damn circus, though. Her mom's head wrap makes me itch just looking at it. I'll stomach them for a few hours, then they can crawl back to their side of town." Jake had cackled, and Ethan joined in, adding, "It's all for the promotion. Boss loves a good charity case." Layla's cheeks had flamed as the words sank in, each one a slap to her soul. Now, standing before the crowd, she lifted her chin and spoke, her voice shaky but loud enough to echo off the pews. "I'm not marrying Ethan Carter today. Or ever. Because the man I thought loved me just told his buddy he's only here to impress his boss, and that my family's not good enough for him." A gasp rippled through the church. Ethan, slick in his black tux, froze mid-step near the altar, his blue eyes wide with panic. The guests, friends, family, co-workers, shifted in their seats, craning their necks. Layla's mom, Marlene, sat in the front row, her navy dress crisp and her pink headscarf a soft contrast to her stunned expression. Her dad, Henry, stayed quiet beside her, his hands clasped tight. But it was Ethan's mom, Mrs. Carter, who broke the silence first, her voice sharp as she stood up. "What the hell are you talking about, girl? You're ruining my son's day." Layla swallowed hard, her throat tight. She wasn't ruining anything. Ethan had done that himself. Before she could respond, her cousin Tasha Brooks pushed through the crowd, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor. Tasha, all fire and loyalty in her emerald green bridesmaid dress, held up her phone like a weapon. "Y'all want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth? I got receipts." The room went dead silent as Tasha hit play. Ethan's voice crackled through the speaker, smug and cold. "She's dramatic as hell, man. Won't dare ditch me. Her family needs this wedding to look legit. I'll keep 'em in line once we're hitched. Hazel'll see me as some big-hearted hero, and I'll be sitting pretty with that corner office." Jake's laugh followed, a hyena-like bark that made Layla's stomach churn all over again. The crowd erupted. Whispers turned to murmurs, then to outright shock. "Did he just say that?" someone muttered. A woman in a purple hat shook her head, clutching her purse. Ethan's face went pale, his hands flailing as he tried to salvage the mess. "That's not... It's taken out of context. I was joking, babe. You know me." He forced a grin, stepping toward Layla, but she backed away, her veil brushing the edge of the altar. "Joking?" Layla snapped, her voice rising. "You think it's funny to call my mom's headscarf embarrassing? To say you're enduring my family? You don't get to laugh this off, Ethan." Her eyes stung with tears, but she blinked them back. She wouldn't let him see her break. Not now. Mrs. Carter stormed forward, her pearls bouncing against her chest. "This is outrageous. You're making a scene over nothing, Layla. My boy's a good man. He doesn't deserve this." Her words dripped with venom, but Layla caught the flicker of doubt in her eyes. The woman knew her son wasn't a saint. Before Layla could fire back, another voice cut in. Auntie Ruth, her dad's older sister, pushing through the aisle in a mustard-yellow dress that screamed old-school Southern charm. She grabbed Layla's arm, pulling her aside with a grip like iron. "What in God's name are you doing, child?" she hissed, her voice low but fierce. "We drove all the way from Alabama for this. You're shaming us in front of everybody. You think folks won't talk? You're throwing away a good man over some dumb talk?" Layla's heart sank. She'd expected pushback from Ethan, not her own blood. "Auntie, he doesn't love me," she whispered, her voice cracking. "He hates who I am, where I come from. You didn't hear what I heard." Ruth's lips tightened, her eyes narrowing. "Men say stupid things. You suck it up and make it work. That's what we do." She glanced at the crowd, then back at Layla. "You walk away now, and this family's name is Mud." The weight of her words hit Layla like a punch. She looked out at the sea of faces, her cousins, her high school friends, the pastor fidgeting near the pulpit. They'd all come expecting a fairy tale, and now she was the villain tearing it apart. Ethan seized the moment, stepping closer with a smug tilt to his head. "See? Even your own people know you're overreacting. Come on, babe. Let's just get through this. We'll talk later." That smugness, the way he assumed she'd fold, lit a fire in Layla's chest. She yanked her arm free from Ruth's grasp, her gown rustling as she turned to face him. "No, Ethan. We're done. You don't get to play me like some pawn in your game." She looked at Tasha, who gave her a fierce nod, then back at the crowd. "I heard every word he said. He's not marrying me for love. He's marrying me for a paycheck. And I'm not here for that." The church buzzed again, louder this time. A few of Ethan's frat brothers shifted uncomfortably, avoiding his gaze. Mrs. Carter clutched her husband's arm, her face red with fury or shame, maybe both. Ethan's jaw tightened, but he didn't dare speak. Layla took one last look at him, then turned on her heel, her veil trailing behind her like a ghost. She pushed through the double doors, the warm Atlanta air hitting her face as she stepped outside. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but her spine stayed straight. Tasha caught up to her in the parking lot, panting as she kicked off her heels. "Girl, you did it. You freaking did it." She pulled Layla into a hug, her voice soft but firm. "I'm with you, okay? Whatever comes next." Layla nodded, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. The chaos of the church faded behind her, but the sting of Auntie Ruth's words lingered. She'd stood up to Ethan, but at what cost? Her family was split, and Ethan was still in there, spinning his lies. She hugged Tasha tighter, her voice barely a whisper. "I just want to get out of here." As they walked toward Tasha's beat-up Honda, the sun dipped low over Atlanta's skyline, casting long shadows across the asphalt. Layla didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but she knew one thing. She wasn't going back. Hey, y'all. Layla's story is just getting started. That showdown in the church was wild, right? If you're hooked and want to see how she handles the fallout, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. What do you think of Ethan's nerve? Your support keeps this channel rolling with more juicy drama like this. Layla sank into the cracked vinyl booth at Mama's Brew, a hole-in-the-wall coffee shop a few blocks from First Baptist Church. The place smelled like burnt coffee and cinnamon rolls, a faint hum of gospel music drifting from a radio behind the counter. Her wedding gown bunched around her thighs, the satin catching on the rough seat. She didn't care. Her hands shook as she pulled off her veil, letting it drop onto the table like a crumpled dream. Outside, Atlanta's afternoon sun blazed through the smudged windows, but inside, Layla felt cold, numb, like someone had ripped her heart out and stomped on it. It hadn't even been an hour since she'd stormed out of the church, but her mind kept replaying the moment that shattered everything. She'd been in the bridal suite earlier that morning, laughing with her bridesmaids as they fussed over her makeup. "Girl, you're glowing," Tasha had said, pinning a curl behind Layla's ear. "Ethan's one lucky dude." Layla had grinned, her stomach fluttering with nerves and hope. She'd slipped out to grab an extra bouquet from the hallway, her bare feet silent on the cool wood floor. That's when she heard it. Ethan's voice, low and cocky, leaking through the gap in a heavy oak door. "She's too dark to pull off that dress," he'd said, the words casual, like he was commenting on the weather. "But it's perfect for Hayes. He loves this multicultural crap, thinks it makes him look good. I'll deal with her loud-ass family for a day, then they're gone." "Her mom's head wrap? Man, I can't stand it. Looks like she's stuck in the 70s. Jake's laugh had punched through the air, and Ethan kept going. "It's a small price, though. Marry her, play the woke card, get that promotion. Easy." Layla had pressed a hand to her mouth, her breath catching as tears pricked her eyes. She'd leaned closer, the veil brushing the door, desperate to believe she'd misheard. But every word was a nail in the coffin of the life she'd imagined. She'd trusted Ethan, loved him, for 2 years. The late-night talks, the way he'd smiled when she cooked collard greens with her mom's recipe, the proposal over burgers at that little dive on Peachtree Street. It all felt like a lie now. How could he hide this ugliness so well? Back at Mama's brew, she swiped at her wet cheeks, the mascara streaking black across her fingers. Her phone buzzed. Texts from her mom, her dad, even Auntie Ruth. But she couldn't face them yet. She needed someone else. She dialed Kelsey Moore, her college friend who'd introduced her to Ethan 3 years ago at a bar downtown. Kelsey picked up on the second ring, her voice bright at first. "Hey, bride, where you at? Everyone's freaking out." "Kels, I need you," Layla said, her voice hoarse. "I'm at Mama's brew on Edgewood. Please come. Alone." Kelsey showed up 10 minutes later, her blonde hair pulled into a messy bun, still in her lilac bridesmaid dress. She slid into the booth, frowning. "Layla, what's going on? You just bolted. Ethan's a mess back there." Layla took a shaky breath, then spilled it all, every word she'd overheard, every stab of betrayal. Kelsey's hazel eyes widened, but she shook her head. "No way. Ethan's not like that. He's crazy about you. Maybe you caught him venting or something. He gets dumb when he's nervous." "Venting?" Layla's voice cracked. "He said my family's a circus, Kels. That he's using me to look good for his boss. That's not nerves, that's who he is." She stared at Kelsey, begging her to see it. "You've known him forever. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you've never heard him say stuff like that." Kelsey hesitated, her fingers twisting the hem of her dress. "I mean, he's made some off-color jokes before, you know, after a few beers. But I thought it was just guy talk." "He's not a racist, Layla. You're overthinking this." The doubt in Kelsey's voice felt like another betrayal. Layla's chest tightened. "I need you to believe me, Kels. I can't do this alone." Kelsey bit her lip, looking away. "I don't want to pick sides. This is crazy. I just wanted y'all to be happy." She stood up, hovering like she might bolt. "Let me think, okay? I'll call you later." As Kelsey left, Tasha burst through the door, her phone in hand and her eyes blazing. "I got something," she said, sliding in across from Layla. "We can nail him," she explained her plan. She'd texted Ethan from her number, pretending to be worried. "I said you ran off crying, asked what he did. He called me back. Dude was pissed. I recorded it." Layla's pulse quickened. "Play it." Tasha hit the button, and Ethan's voice filled the booth, sharp and irritated. She's too damn sensitive, Tasha. I might have said her family's a little backward. Big deal. She'll get over it. She always does what's best for everybody else. The call cut off abruptly, like he'd caught himself. Layla clenched her fists. That's it? That's all he said? Tasha nodded, grimacing. He hung up fast. Probably smelled a trap. It's not the full confession, but it's something. Shows he's a jerk who doesn't give a damn about you. It's not enough, Layla muttered. He'll twist it. Say I'm blowing it out of proportion. She rubbed her temples, the weight of it all crashing down. She'd walked away from her wedding, but Ethan still held the upper hand, his charm, his lies. She needed more. That's when Ruby, the shop's owner, shuffled over, her gray braids swaying. She set a glass of water and a chipped mug of tea on the table, her wrinkled hands steady. You okay, baby? She asked, her voice soft like a grandmother's. Look like somebody ran you over. Layla forced a small smile, the kindness cutting through her haze. Not okay, Miss Ruby. My fiancé. He's not who I thought he was. Said some awful stuff about me and my folks. Ruby's eyes narrowed, wise and sharp. Men'll smile to your face and stab you in the back. What did he do? He's marrying me for a promotion, Layla said, the words bitter on her tongue. Thinks my family's beneath him. Called my mom's head wrap trash. I heard it all, and now I don't know what to do. Ruby patted her shoulder. You're hurting, but you're strong. I see it. Whatever he did, don't let him win. She walked back to the counter, leaving Layla with the tea and a flicker of resolve. Tasha leaned in, her voice low. We can get more. I'll call him again, push harder, or we figure out something else. What you want to do, Lai? Layla stared at the steam curling off the mug, her mind racing. She'd run from the church, but running wasn't enough. Ethan thought she'd crumble, that she'd stay quiet. She wouldn't. I need everyone to know who he really is, she said, her voice steadier now. Let's keep digging. Outside, the Atlanta streets hummed with traffic, horns blaring in the distance. Layla took a sip of tea, the warmth settling her nerves. She didn't have all the answers yet, but she had Tasha, and a fire starting to burn inside her. Ethan wasn't getting away with this. Layla paced the cracked linoleum floor of Mama's brew, her wedding gown swishing with every step. The tea Ruby had brought sat cold on the table, steam long gone. Tasha sat across from her, scrolling through her phone, plotting their next move. The hum of Atlanta outside, cars honking, a distant siren, felt miles away from the storm churning in Layla's chest. She'd called her mom, Marlene, 10 minutes ago, her voice barely holding together. Mama, I need you. I'm at Mama's brew. Please don't tell anybody. When Marlene pushed through the door, her navy dress wrinkled from sitting in the church pew, Layla ran to her. Marlene's arms wrapped around her, warm and familiar, and for a second, Layla let herself break. Tears soaked her mom's shoulder as Marlene whispered, Oh, baby, what happened? Why'd you run? Her pink headscarf brushed Layla's cheek, soft against the chaos. Layla pulled back, wiping her face. I heard Ethan, Mama. Behind the door. He said he's only marrying me for his boss, Mr. Hayes. Said my skin's too dark, your head wrap's embarrassing, our family's a joke. It's all fake. Her voice cracked, but she kept going. He doesn't love me. He never did. Marlene's eyes filled with tears, her hand flying to her mouth. Lord have mercy. I knew something was off. I saw it in his eyes at Thanksgiving, the way he dodged your daddy's questions. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Before Layla could answer, her phone buzzed hard. Auntie Ruth, calling Marlene. Layla nodded for her mom to pick up, and Ruth's voice blared through the speaker, sharp as a switch. "Marlene, you better get that girl in line. She's making a fool of us. Henry's sitting there quiet as a mouse while folks whisper. You know how far we came for this? Fix it!" Marlene's face tightened, caught between her sister-in-law and her daughter. "Ruth, she's hurting. Something bad went down." "Bad?" Ruth snapped. "She's throwing a tantrum 'cause Ethan ran his mouth? Men talk trash, Marlene. She's shaming us over nothing." The line went dead, leaving a heavy silence. Layla's stomach twisted. "She thinks I should just take it," she said, her voice low. "Like it's my job to smile and let him walk all over me." Marlene squeezed her hand. "Ruth's stuck in her ways. She's scared of what people'll say. But I'm with you, baby. I don't want this family falling apart." The door jingled again, and Kelsey slipped in, her lilac dress rumpled, her face pale. "Layla, I'm sorry," she blurted, dropping into the booth. "I heard Tasha's recording. I was wrong. Ethan's a snake. I should have believed you." Layla stared at her, hope flickering. "What changed your mind?" Kelsey swallowed hard. "After you left, I remembered stuff. Last summer, at that barbecue, he got drunk and said your dad's accent made him sound uneducated. I laughed it off then, but it fits. And there's more." She leaned in, voice dropping. "His folks pushed him to marry some rich girl years back, but he picked you instead. I thought it was love. Now I think he saw you as a shortcut, someone he could control, someone Hayes would praise him for saving." Layla's jaw clenched, rage bubbling up. "A shortcut. That's all I was." She turned to Tasha. "We need more than that recording. He's got to slip up bigger." That's when her phone lit up. Ethan calling. Tasha smirked. "Speak of the devil. Answer it. Let's see what he says." Layla hesitated, then hit speaker, her heart pounding. "Layla, where you at?" Ethan's voice was tight, edged with anger. "You're making me look like an idiot. Come back. We'll fix this." "Fix what?" Layla shot back, her tone icy. "You trashing my family? Using me for your damn promotion?" He scoffed. "You're blowing this up, babe. I was stressed, okay? Said some dumb stuff. You gonna throw us away over that?" "Dumb stuff?" she snapped. "You said my mom's beneath you, that I'm a prop for your career. Don't lie to me, Ethan. I heard it all." There was a pause, then his voice turned mean. "Fine. You want to play hardball? Run off, but don't expect me to beg. I'll tell everybody your broke-ass family latched onto me for a paycheck. See how that looks." The threat hit like a slap. Layla's hand shook, but Tasha grabbed the phone, ending the call. "He's bluffing," she said. "He's scared. You've got him rattled." Kelsey nodded. "He's desperate. Hayes showed up at the church right after you left, pulled Ethan aside, looked pissed." Layla frowned. "Hayes? What's he doing there?" Meanwhile, back at First Baptist, Ethan stood in the parking lot, sweat beading on his forehead despite the cooling afternoon. Mr. Daniel Hayes, his boss, loomed over him, 6'2", gray suit pristine, his voice smooth but cold. "What's this I hear about your girl running off? You okay, son?" Ethan forced a laugh, wiping his palms on his tux. "She overheard me venting, sir. No big deal. I'll smooth it over. She's just sensitive." Hayes raised an eyebrow, his smile thin. "Venting? About what?" Ethan hesitated, then leaned in, lowering his voice. "Look, I might have said some stuff about her family, how they're a lot to handle, but it's all for the plan, right? You wanted me to look progressive. It's working." Hayes's eyes narrowed, but he chuckled. "Smart boy. Just don't let it blow back on me. I've got a reputation. Charity dinners, community grants. Clean this up, Ethan, or you're on your own." He clapped Ethan's shoulder hard, then walked off, leaving Ethan cursing under his breath. Back at Mama's brew, Tasha relayed the update from a friend still at the church. "Hayes is in on it, Lai. He's not some saint. He's covering his own ass. Ethan's his little puppet." Layla's blood boiled. So it's not just Ethan. It's both of 'em, using me like I'm nothing. She stood, smoothing her gown, the fabric suddenly feeling like armor. "I'm done hiding. I'm going back." Tasha's eyes widened. "You sure? He just threatened you." "I'm sure," Layla said, her voice steady now. "He thinks I'll stay quiet. Let him spin this. I won't." She grabbed her phone, texting her dad, Henry. "Daddy, I'm coming back to the church. I need you there." Henry's reply was instant. "Always here for you, baby girl." Kelsey stood too, determination replacing her guilt. "I'm with you. I'll tell him what I know. Ethan's not getting away with this." Tasha grinned, slinging an arm around Layla. "That's my girl. Let's burn it down." Layla took a deep breath, glancing at Marlene, who gave a small, worried nod. The weight of Ruth's judgment, Ethan's threats, and Hayes's slime hung heavy, but Layla felt something shift inside her. Anger, turning to power. She stepped out into the Atlanta heat, her heels clicking on the pavement, Tasha and Kelsey flanking her like soldiers. The church loomed ahead, its steeple cutting the skyline. She wasn't running anymore. She was fighting. The sun dipped low over Atlanta, painting the sky orange as Layla strode back toward First Baptist Church. Her wedding gown caught the evening breeze, the satin glowing against her skin like a battle flag. Tasha and Kelsey walked beside her, their steps quick and determined, while Marlene trailed a few paces behind, her face etched with worry, but pride flickering in her eyes. Layla's heart hammered, but her resolve burned hotter. She wasn't the scared bride who'd run away hours ago. She was a woman ready to take back her life. Inside, the church buzzed with restless energy. Guests milled around, some sipping water from paper cups, others checking their phones. The ceremony was hours late, and whispers filled the pews. "Where's the bride? Did she ditch him?" Ethan stood near the altar, tugging at his tie, his forced smile cracking. When Layla pushed through the double doors, a hush fell over the room. Heads turned, eyes widened. Ethan spun around, relief flashing across his face before it morphed into something harder. "Layla, babe," he called, rushing toward her. "Thank God you're back. I was so worried." She stopped him cold with a raised hand, her voice cutting through the air. "Don't. We need to talk. Right here, right now, in front of everybody." Ethan faltered, his grin slipping. "Come on. Let's go somewhere private. We can—" "No," Layla said, louder this time, stepping forward. "You wanted an audience for your little game. Now you've got one." She turned to the crowd, her veil long gone, her curls wild. "Y'all came for a wedding. That's not happening. Because this man," she pointed at Ethan, "doesn't love me. He's marrying me to impress his boss, Mr. Hayes. Said my family's trash, my mom's head wrap's a joke, and I'm just a stepping stone for his career." The room erupted, gasps, murmurs, a few sharp "What?" from the back. Ethan's mom, Mrs. Carter, shot up, her pearls rattling. "That's a lie. You're twisting everything, girl." But Layla didn't flinch. She locked eyes with her dad, Henry, who stood in the second row, his quiet strength anchoring her. Tasha stepped up beside her, phone in hand, and Kelsey flanked her other side, chin high. "Twisting?" Layla said, her voice trembling with fury. "I heard him. Clear as day. Tasha's got proof." Tasha hit play, and Ethan's voice boomed through the church again, clipped, arrogant. "She's dramatic as hell. Won't dare ditch me. Her family needs this. I'll keep him in line." The recording ended, and the silence was deafening. Ethan's face went red, his hands balling into fists. "That's edited. She's setting me up," he yelled, but the crowd wasn't buying it. A woman in a red dress muttered, "Sounds like him to me." One of Ethan's frat brothers looked away, shifting in his seat. Kelsey spoke up, her voice steady. "I've known Ethan since college. I didn't want to believe it either, but he's been lying from the start. Said stuff about Layla's dad behind her back, called him uneducated, told me he picked her because she'd make him look good without fighting back. I was wrong to defend him." A ripple of shock spread through the pews. Mrs. Carter's face crumpled, but before she could scream again, a new voice cut in, deep, polished, commanding attention. Mr. Daniel Hayes strode down the aisle, his gray suit pristine, his smile tight. "Ethan, what's this mess?" he barked, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You're embarrassing me in front of half the damn city." Ethan spun toward him, desperation in his eyes. "Sir, it's a misunderstanding. She overheard me venting. I didn't mean it. You know I'm loyal. Did this for the company." Hayes's laugh was cold, sharp. "Loyal? You dragged my name into your little soap opera. I've got donors here, people who think I'm some diversity saint. You're done, kid." He turned to the crowd, raising his hands. "Folks, I had no idea my employee was this foolish. I'm appalled." Layla's blood ran hot. She stepped forward, her voice ringing out. "Appalled? Don't play innocent, Mr. Hayes. Ethan told me you pushed him to look progressive. You're just as fake. You use your charity checks to cover your own dirt, don't you?" Hayes's smile vanished, his eyes narrowing. "Watch yourself, young lady. You don't know what you're talking about." "I know enough," Layla shot back. "You and Ethan thought I'd be your puppet. You're wrong." She turned to Ethan, her gaze piercing. "You said I'd never leave, that I'd take your crap to keep the peace. Look at me now." Ethan's mask slipped, and for a split second, something raw flashed in his eyes. Regret, maybe fear. "Layla, I didn't want this," he said, his voice breaking. "I grew up with nothing. People laughing at me. My folks broke. I just wanted out. Hayes dangled that promotion, and I screwed up. I didn't mean to hate you." The confession hung heavy, but Layla didn't soften. "You didn't mean it? You chose to say those things. Chose to use me. I'm not your escape hatch." She walked past him to the altar, where the marriage license sat on a small table, unsigned. She picked it up, her hand steady now, and tore it in half. The ripping sound echoed, sharp and final. "This is my gift to myself," she said, dropping the pieces to the floor. "Freedom from a man who never saw me." The crowd gasped, some clapping, others whispering in awe. Auntie Ruth, who'd been silent in the back, pushed forward, her mustard yellow dress bright against the muted chaos. She grabbed Layla's arm, her voice soft this time. "I was wrong, baby girl. I thought you were weak for running. I didn't see how strong you are. I'm sorry." Layla's throat tightened, tears brimming as she hugged her aunt. "Thank you, Auntie." Henry stepped up, offering his arm, and Marlene joined them, her hand slipping into Layla's. Tasha and Kelsey closed ranks, a wall of support. Guests began to file out, some shaking their heads at Ethan, others nodding at Layla with respect. Mrs. Carter slumped into a pew, her fight gone, while Hayes stormed off, muttering about damage control. Ethan stood alone, his tux wrinkled, his future crumbling. Weeks later, word got around. Hayes fired him, not out of morals, but to save face when the story hit local gossip blogs. His promotion vanished. His frat brothers ghosted him, and he faded into the mess he'd made. Outside, dusk settled over Atlanta, streetlights flickering on. Layla stood with her family, the warm glow catching the tear streaks on her cheeks. Tasha hugged her tight. "You're a badass, Lai. Proud of you." Henry smiled, rare and warm. You did right, baby girl. Layla looked up at the sky, the weight lifting off her chest. I almost lost myself, she said softly. But I didn't. She was free, not just from Ethan, but from the fear of standing alone. Later that night, at Tasha's cramped apartment, Layla sat wrapped in a blanket, sipping sweet tea. Her cousins cracked jokes, her mom hummed a hymn, and laughter filled the air. It wasn't the wedding she'd planned, but it was better, real, messy, hers. She stepped onto the balcony, the city lights twinkling below, and smiled. Sometimes, breaking away cleared the path for something true. She'd heal, she'd rise, and she'd never let anyone dim her again. And that's a wrap, y'all. Layla's story ends with a bang. What'd you think of her big stand? If you loved this ride, hit subscribe for more drama like this. I've got plenty brewing. Drop a comment with your favorite moment. Your vibes mean the world to me.